Let's move on to other forms of assessment. Papers. During the master's program, you will write a lot of papers. Well, it is what lawyers do, and you need to be prepared for that. And by writing a paper, you can become an expert on certain topics within a short period of time. Papers can demonstrate the level of research you have done by consulting primary sources and academic literature. What are the tips for writing a paper? Well, they depend on the purposes of each assignment. There are different types of papers. They may be called assignment, individual papers, memorials, position papers, or reaction papers. So it is always good to check the description of the course and understand the purposes of each paper. As you always have several papers to write, make sure to get your schedule organized. It takes time to do research, organize your thought, draft sentences, and revise them. And remember, regardless of the types of papers, you need to get your citation correct. You must cite the sources you have relied on. Otherwise, this may be considered a case of plagiarism against the university's rules. The written forms of assessment can be combined with your presentation. You present your analysis or argument either individually or as a group in front of the lecturers and other students. What makes oral presentations exciting and also scary is that you will be judged not just on the content of your argument, but also by the way you present. So you need to have persuasion strategies. Pay attention not only to the content and structure of your argument, but also to the speed of your presentation, tone of voice, the effective use of pauses, eye contact, and posture. And it is good to keep in mind that oral presentation is essentially different from a written paper. So when you prepare for your presentation, you should practice out loud. Sometimes sentences look perfect when they are written, but they do not work too well when they are already presented. In this sense, always practice your presentation beforehand. You may get nervous in front of the lecturers and students, but if you are prepared, it will definitely help you get your presentation going. In some short modules, you may also participate in simulations or role-play exercises, and you may be evaluated on the basis of your performance. A simulation is an experience-based form of learning. You may represent a specific government or private actor and may need to negotiate to find a compromise. You will face some dilemmas that will not be easily resolved by your textbook alone. Strategies depend on the types of simulation exercise. Therefore, it is important to read the course description carefully in order to understand the aims of the simulation. Yet the challenge and exciting part of the simulations is that you cannot anticipate all the scenarios. You may need to be prepared to adjust your positions based on the situations. And this is close to what happens in real life when you start your career. Finally, in some short modules, your participation in seminar discussions may also be graded. But at the level of the master's program, you are always expected to actively partake in these classroom discussions, whether or not it will be graded. You will learn from each other, and we expect you to be actively engaged in classroom discussions. Remember, participation is not about giving the right answers or how frequently you speak. Instead, it is about the way you contribute to the classroom discussions. You need to listen to the lecturers and other students' comments and respond to them in a constructive manner. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. If your comments encourage classroom discussions or shed a light on new issues or examples, then that is what matters. Our master's program always combines multiple forms of assessment. They are meant to test your understandings, and we hope that they will also motivate your learning experiences. Finally, assessment methods are intertwined with each course learning goals. So always check the aims of each course and specific requirements regarding its assessment method.